All right, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Mass Ranker back again with another ranking, and today we are doing a ranking for the John Wick franchise action sequences. I did all the reviews for the movies. I did a tier list of all the movies. I did a tier list of all the characters, and finally now I am doing a tier list for all the action sequences. I got a haircut. If you didn't notice, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Wanted to point that out. And what else do I have to say? I am procrastinating on a lot of work right now, which is why I am uploading a lot more videos than normal. So yeah, wanted to get that out there. And yeah, with that said, let us just begin. Actually, one more thing. Well, two things. I did include the fights from Ballerina. I wanted to include that because I included Ballerina in all of the previous rankings, so I'm also including it in this. I put it in alphabetical order because the rest of the fights were already in alphabetical order. So, and one more thing, I am not going to be doing side style for this, which is what I'm calling it. When side style is when you, the ranking is according to where the more left a character is, the higher they are rated. So like a character that would be here, for example, would be rated higher than a character that was here. I'm not doing that for this video. I did it for the last video for the character rankings. It is easier to do with characters. It is more challenging doing it with action sequences and fight scenes. It is harder to compare. So I'm just going to be doing general like S tier fights, A tier fights, B tier fights. I might do side style for the top tier for S tier maybe. So anyway, with all that said, let us begin with the Arc de Triomphe chase fight. This was the fight that was in France in chapter 4. And I will say that this was a B tier fight, definitely. It did have, like, it was one of the most unbelievable fights in the entire franchise because you did have a lot of cars coming in at the time, and it did feel like a bit unrealistic that like no car would stop, but it was still ultimately a good fight with John Wick. The cars did add a good element of like there was oncoming traffic that you had to watch out for while he was having a shootout with a lot of the assassins coming after him. So overall, it was like a mid-tier fight, I would say. That, like, okay, there's no real bad fight. That's why I'm not including an F tier. If you see here, there's no F tier. So no fight is necessarily bad. It's just that there are fights that are better than others. So this is a B tier fight, I would say. The bullet ballet, I don't remember really what this was. I think this might have been just where Zero ends up cutting the director's hands, like where he puts the sword in through her hands. So I guess that was a cool scene, I would say. So I will put it as a B tier. Like nothing really like too much happened in that action sequence. It was just that the director got stabbed. Anyway, Kane versus John. This was an S tier fight. Loved it. Very cool to see the first encounter with John and Kane, some of the two best characters in the franchise going at it, and it was just a great first encounter for the two of them. It showed off a lot of Kane's style of fighting, and it also showed John going up against someone that he didn't want to, which made for which added to the tension of the fight, which was good. This is from Ballerina. This was the car crash brawl. This was when one of the assassins from the cult ended up ramming their car into Eve, and ultimately that's all it really was. And then they ended up having a bit of a shootout and stuff, but it really didn't last that long, and it wasn't too memorable or anything, so I will just give it C tier. It was cool, the initial like car crash. It was something cool to see, and then Eve like like with her car moving, and then she's like on one side of the car while the assassin is like still driving into the car trying to shoot at her. Like that was still cool, I would say. So ultimately a C tier action sequence. The catacomb shootout, this was my biggest gripe with chapter 2. I did not like this catacomb sequence because I felt that it went on for a bit too long, and because of that I'm going to put it in D tier. It was still a cool fight, but it was just way too long for my liking, and it was ultimately my least favorite part of chapter 2. Moving on, the concert fight. This is the fight that took place right before the catacombs, and I would say it is about on par with the catacomb shootout. Is just like the preamble before the fight scene. So D tier. The Continental Siege, this was a good one. I would say A tier, very cool. This was also one of the ones where it was like a bit hard to believe, like, okay, John Wick is like in a room full of like armored hitmen, or like armored people that were sent to take him out, and then he manages to get out alive against all of them. Like it feels a bit unbelievable, but still nonetheless a very cool fight with him, with the slug shells, with him and Sharon fighting up against the armored bad guys and stuff, and it was very cool to see. So definitely an A tier action sequence. This is the cult diner fight where basically just Eve, she is in a diner. She has a shootout with some of the local, cult members. And I would probably say it's like about a C tier fight. It's not anything too great, but it's there. It's pretty not really that memorable in my opinion. It might just be because once again, a lot of the stuff with Ballerina, I do preface this by saying like I've only seen it once. It's not like the other movies where I've seen it multiple times, and so a lot of the details are like fresh in my mind. But yeah, so yeah, C tier I'd say. The cycle chase. This was the motorcycle chase in chapter 3, which I would definitely give a solid B tier, I'd say. I thought it was good. I liked it. It was cool to see a motorcycle chase. It's always nice to see new ways where you got action sequences in the franchise, and I think this was the first time where we saw a motorcycle chase, I'm pretty sure, in the franchise in chapter 3. So it was cool. It was cool seeing with like the swords and stuff, and like the motorcycles flipping over and stuff. It was very cool. I liked it. The desert chase. I didn't like this one. This was probably one of the only not that I didn't like it, but it was like this was just the one at the start of chapter 4 where it's like he just chases some guys on horseback and he just shoots them and that was it, and then he ends up meeting the one above the table, and it was just really boring. Like there was nothing to the fight. It was at the start of the movie. He shoots some guys on horses. That's it. They don't even bother shooting back really. I felt like they had an opportunity to get him, but yeah, nothing ended up. Yeah, it's just not that great of an action sequence in comparison to the rest. This is the fight with Eve and Daniel versus the cult in the Continental. I really like this one. This was probably my favorite fight, or at least one of my favorites in Ballerina, and so I would put this as A tier. I liked it a lot. It was very cool. The pistol on the doorknob, it was a nice touch, and just very cool to see Daniel Pine, his character, get some action. Seeing him part of the action, it was cool to see, and I liked it. It was very, very fun to watch. This is the fight at Frank's place with Eve, where the cult members attack Frank's shop, and I also liked it. I thought it was also, this is probably my, definitely a top 3 fight for me in Ballerina. I liked it. It made a lot of cool use of like grenades and stuff, and yeah, a lot of the grenade, mainly it was the grenade stuff that was very cool. Like, although I will say, like, he was like showing her like a bunch of weapons and stuff, and then she doesn't end up using any of the weapons that was like portrayed, which I thought was like kind of a weird choice, but it was still nonetheless a very cool fight, and so I would give it A tier. I liked it a lot. This is the sword fight with Eve. It is a bit not memorable. Like it was a cool scene, but just this one frame here that you see, this is like the only part I remember from the fight. Other than that, I don't remember too much of it, and because of that, I'm just going to give it B tier because it is a bit forgettable. But yeah, still a B tier fight. It was cool seeing sword play is always cool in this franchise. Falling down the stairs. This was a very good action sequence. I liked it. This is also like, this is not just fights, it's like action sequences in general. So yeah, I'm saying that now, prefacing it. I think I said it earlier, but whatever, I'm rephrasing it. So yeah, the falling downstairs, I thought it was definitely, I would probably say between B and A tier, and I'm going to be generous and give it A tier. I thought it was very cool. You had like John fall down the stairs. It's like time is ticking. Yeah, okay, they absolutely BS that, where it's like John was like, oh, John only had like 3 minutes, and then he still manages to make it before like sunrise. I thought that was a bit of like one of the moments where it's like John Wick definitely has some plot armor, but Donnie Yen, Kane, his character, like coming to help John Wick up with the stairs, very cool, very fun to see. Even Mr. Nobody got involved a bit towards the end, getting revenge on the guy that almost killed his dog. And so yeah. Next we have the fans fight. I like this one a lot. This was an S tier fight for me. This was like a very one of the most respectful fights in like the entire franchise, I'd say. Like this was like a fight where it's like literally just assassins and they're like fans of John Wick, and it's like, we want to have an honorable fight against you, and that's what happens, and it plays out very well, very cool, and I liked it. It's also the fight where John Wick uses his belt, really showing his versatility when it comes to being able to just kick people's asses. So next, this is God's Eye and Fire Breath. This was the one with the Dragon Breath shotgun. Definitely an S tier fight. Loved it. The Dragon Breath shotguns were one of the coolest weapons in the entire franchise, and you also get the top view of the apartment that they're in. Just really cool all around. Mr. Nobody's also involved in this one, and he is very cool. He like whips on his like bulletproof vest that he's got. The dog also has some action in this one. Overall, just very cool fight. Liked it a lot. This is the horseback one. It's pretty similar to the cycle chase one, actually, in chapter 3. So they're pretty similar, and to be honest, I kind of like associate one with the other, so I'm just gonna put them near each other because it's pretty much the same one, except on this one, John is on horseback. It was cool. It was just anytime you see like a new kind of element coming into play, like something new going on with like the action, it's always cool to see. So the horseback was cool. This is the house invasion in chapter 1. This is after Aesop already comes in to kill Daisy and steal John's car. So this is when Vigo hires a bunch of hitmen to go kill John Wick, and ultimately it fails. And this is the first like real action sequence of the franchise. And so I will give it an A tier. It was like the first, like the very start of like when we finally start seeing like, no, this is, you're about to see his true potential, and then we see his true potential in this one. So definitely an A tier fight, I would say. The Ice Club Brawl. This was Eve's first mission, and it was versus Yakuza. It was kind of weird though. Like she was given like rubber bullets, and she didn't end up really killing anyone in this one. I don't really know why. So yeah, I don't know what was up with that too much. And it's not that memorable, so because of that, I'm just gonna put it in C tier, I'd say. Moving on to ice skating attack, I like this one a lot. It was very cool, making use of the ice skates. This was probably one of the most interesting weapon choices in the entire franchise that they ended up using, where they just had like Eve like spinning around ice skates to attack the cult members. It was very cool, love to see it, and so definite A tier. The I Think I'm Back, this is a great scene, S tier, absolutely, I loved it. It was wonderful. You have Willem Dafoe's character coming in to save the day. This is when like John Wick is like really like, okay, he was debating the entire movie, but then finally he's like, you know what, that's it, I'm back into this. Like I'm in, like I was gone for 5 years, but you know what, the Baba Yaga has come to reap, and it was just wonderful, loved it, absolutely great, and so definite S tier. I will say it is like Vigo absolutely could have just ended things right there. Like if he really was like that scared of John, like if it were me, like 10 bullets, I'm emptying the mag in his head. Like I'm not taking chances. Okay, like he's like, you know what, I'll leave. I'll let my henchmen deal with this. And it's like, okay, fine. Like yeah, there's really nothing he could do, and like Willem Dafoe ultimately ends up having to come in to save him. But it's like, come on, are you really going to take the chances? Like look what happened because you took the chance. So. Definitely S tier, I'd say. John kills ESF. This is one of the best shots in the entire franchise, where you just have John walking towards ESF, and then ESF's like, he says in Russian, like, it was just a effing dog, and then John just puts one in his head, and it is just wonderful, loved it, very cool, and definite S tier. John versus Vigo, this was the end of chapter 1. At this point, it was like kind of like, it didn't feel like too much of a challenge. It's like, okay, he's faced all these people up to this point, and now Vigo, like he's not a very trained soldier and stuff, so it's like it felt kind of one-sided, but it was still, you know, it was a good conclusion, I guess. It took place in the rain, which was nice, and so I will give it between like B and C tier. I'll be generous though and give it B tier. Killa fight, I love this one. So this one's great. This was the one where you had Mr. Nobody in it, you had Kane in it, you had John in it, you had Killa. Right before it took place was the poker scene. John, he starts off the fight by like cutting Killa's throat with like a card, very cool, and then you have just Kane just shooting the guys, like just taking shots and then getting real lucky with that. Very cool. This one, I think this is my favorite in the franchise. The knife fight, absolutely incredible. I'm putting it at the top of S tier. Again, at the end, I think I might do a side style for the S tier fights. But yeah, knife fight, absolutely incredible. I loved it. It is still probably my favorite fight in the entire franchise. You just have John just grabbing, like hitting glass, throwing knives at all the dudes that are coming after him. It is just spectacular to see. I loved it. It was great. I think my absolute favorite shot in the entire franchise is just the one where it's like a guy, he gets a shot off, he misses, John throws a knife at him, and then he throws two more right before like the guy can recover. Just absolutely incredible. Love to see it. The library fight, I would give this definite A tier. I like this one. This was like right before Excommunicado officially started for John, and so Ernest wanted to get the kill early, and so they fight at the library. It was cool. They made use of some books. Once again, John Wick making use of stuff that are not traditional weapons. Always nice to see, and I liked it a lot. Very cool to see. Mirrors of the Soul. This one I would give a B tier. I thought it was an interesting setting, but ultimately it was like kind of like confusing to follow along with. Still cool though, like it was like an interesting place to have a shootout in, but yeah, just not one of my favorites, I would say, but definitely B tier. The Miss Perkins fight, this was the one where John ends up fighting Perkins after she tries to kill him, and he doesn't end up killing her because he can't, because he's not going to conduct business on continental grounds, at least not yet, and then she ends up, so he knocks her out, and then he that was the fight, and then he ends up giving her to Henry to watch, and then we, for those of you who know what happened, you know what happens. And so I would give this one, it's not very memorable, and because of that I'm going to give it C tier. Like it's just a pretty basic fight between John and Perkins, like nothing too like really that memorable to speak of with this one. Anyway, Museum Mayhem, this was a good one because this was the one where John had only 7 bullets to use, and so I'm gonna give it B tier. I thought it was cool for that reason. The setting itself is not really anything too cool, but the whole like aspect of having only 7 bullets given to him by King, and then him needing to like pick up guns off of his enemies to continue fighting. It was a cool aspect to it. The 1 hour escape, this was the start of chapter 3. I loved it. S tier, definite S tier. It was incredible. It was one of the best starts to a movie I think I've ever seen. It is just so tense where you have the 1 hour. It's like, you know, like, okay, when this hour starts, like he has no services left. Everyone is hunting him down. He's injured. This is, by the way, this is already after all the events of chapter 2. Like he's low on stamina. He's low on health. Like he's gone through all the stuff in chapter 2, and now we're picking up right where it left off in this movie. It's like we're going. You got a full now like 2 hours left now where you have to go fighting off like assassins. But now it's like very start. You have the 1 hour mark. It's like, okay, he's not there yet. It's like he still has a bit of time left, so he's trying to get to a doctor to like heal up some of his wounds before that starts. He has to go to the library and stuff. It is great. I loved it. Wonderful beginning to the best movie in the franchise, I would say. The Osaka fight, this was also definitely S tier. Loved it. Very cool. This one had so much good stuff. You had Kane. You had the beginning with like all the bows and arrows in the lobby. You had the sumos getting in some action. You had John right before the Kane fight. You had him like fighting the soldiers in like the glass area. It was just very cool. Osaka, one of the best settings in the entire franchise. Extremely cool to see, and so definite S tier. The pencil kill, this one I would give it A tier. I wouldn't give it S tier. It is definitely iconic. It is become a staple of his character. Like the killing with the pencil really like shows him as a true legend, but it ultimately it's pretty short, and it is not anything too fancy. It's just him against 2 guys, and he ultimately just ends up killing them with the pencil. So it is still a very cool fight and very iconic. However, it is not one of the top fights, I would say, in the franchise. Race to Sunset. This was the one where John is trying to get to, this is the one right before the staircase where he is running to get to where he has to be for the duel with the Marquise. And I would give it probably B tier. It's like a bit too, like once it gets to the staircase, that's when it like really starts getting better. But like before that, it's kind of like the preamble, like, once again, where it's like you're kind of like having him fight up against some goons and stuff. And it's like, it's a bit hard to like remember specifically like the moments of it, but it was still like, you know, it was in fact, you know, I'm going to be harsh about this. Like, it was really, I can't actually at the moment picture anything that even happened at the start, but I do think it was like good. It was like good how it's like, okay, we're ramping up the action. It's like he has to get there before sunrise. It's like, it was good for building suspense, but other like the actual fight itself, I would just give like C tier, I would say. Red Circle Club. This was the one in chapter 1 where he goes after Aesop in the club. This was a great one, specifically because the music they used, it was Think by I think it was called Kaleda, maybe. I'm pretty sure Kaleda, something like that. It was magnificent. I loved it. It was great. From the moment I heard it, I ended up adding it to my Spotify playlist. It was wonderful, and just great music choice. Really cool action sequence. Still, you have like John going up against a bunch of shirtless dudes and stuff, and it was just wonderful to see. Definite S tier, I would say, and yeah, really helped like show him off as like the Baba Yaga. It's like you see Aesop running, and then you see just John coming after him, just like stares at him as he shoots a guy underneath him. It's just really cool to see. This is Sophia's Escape. This was one of the ones in chapter 3. This was like probably, I think I said that this was like my least favorite part of chapter 3, which was the Casablanca area. I thought that the fight scene there, it went on for like a bit too long. So because it's kind of similar to like the catacombs, and because of that reason, I'm just going to put it in, I'm not going to put it in D tier. I'll put it in C tier because it was cool with like the dogs and stuff, getting some action with them, and having seen like Sophia, it's like you have like John fighting along with someone, which is I think at this point in the franchise it is like the first time, other than like Willem Dafoe's character, and in chapter 2, no one in chapter 2 that I can remember off the top of my head. So yeah, this was like interesting to see John working with someone. The staircase fight with, I remember his name in the last video. I said I could not remember his name. I was calling him like Sharon, but that wasn't it because that was Lance Reddick's character. This is Cassian. Cassian is his name, and he is, this fight, I liked it. It was cool. It was nice, specifically how it ended. I really like how it's like it ends with them crashing into the Continental and end up like, it's like they have to stop there. Like they have to stop because they can't kill each other on continental grounds. But so definitely a B tier fight. I would say it is good, not great compared to some of the other fights, but yeah. The subway fight. This is pretty similar. I'd say I'd put it like right next to it. It's also a B tier fight. It was cool. It was like basically it was nice for it because it's like they're on the subway. They're kind of waiting for everyone to leave, and then once everyone leaves, it's like they start going at it, and then ultimately ends with John giving Cassian the professional courtesy. And moving on, we have the Sunset Duel. I like this one. This is definitely a tier fight, I would say. This was it was the end of chapter 4. It was basically the end of John Wick, and it was his final fight, and he had to fight a friend, and it was very well played out. It's like he had them at 30 paces. I will say this, they should have been able to like hit each other from 30 paces. These guys are like the best marksmen that there are. Like, I guess Kane gets a pass because he's blind, but like John, come on, you have no excuses for, like, I know, okay, obviously like he was doing it like to purposely not try to kill him, so yeah, very cool. It's like, yeah, 30 paces, then 20 paces, and then 1 pace. It's like very suspenseful, very great, very good final send off for John Wick. SUV fight from chapter 1. I don't really remember this one too much, and so I'm just gonna give it a D tier. Chapter 1, it did not get to like, this is still like them establishing John as like a killer, so you do have some fights that are still pretty basic compared to like some of the later stuff that you would have in the franchise, and because of that, it is on the lower end of the fights. And so yeah. This is the flamethrower fight from Ballerina. I thought this was great. I thought it was a very cool use of a weapon, and it was nice to see. Like, not just it's nice to see. Once again, it's nice to see when they have like a new element to the fights, like whether it be a new weapon or a new setting or like something to spice things up a bit. And so the flamethrower was good. I would give it a solid. I would say between B tier and A tier. It's kind of like a high B tier, but I'll give it, I'm going to give it B tier. I'm going to be harsh with it. It was cool. It was nice. It was very cool to see, like, flamethrowers being used. It was, yeah. So definitely a solid B tier. This is the warehouse fight in chapter 2. This was the very start, and it was fine. It was pretty, I didn't really like it as much, to be honest. Like, I liked the start of chapter 1, like, much better than the start of chapter 2. Like, the start of chapter 2, it kind of felt like, okay, I felt like we should have wrapped this stuff up in the last movie, but yeah, I guess it was kind of just like to get people like, okay, we're back into this now, like kind of like a stretch the legs a bit, it kind of felt like, but ultimately still it was not one of my favorite fights, so D tier. The Water Club fight in chapter 4, this was when he went after Killa, and it was, I would say like C tier. It was fine. I didn't really, this was one of the ones where it was like similar to, I guess, the, where is it, the concert fight, where it's like he's kind of just like fighting in like an open area with a bunch of people dancing, and those ones, it's like it kind of, those ones are fine, but it's always like there's so many people in the way, and it feels like they should be like panicking or something, and so they always end up coming off as like kind of like not doesn't really feel too realistic, but it does end pretty well with like John and Killa, where it's like he ends up like throwing him off of the stairs, and he ends up like breaking his neck or something, and then that was cool, and then John ends up taking his tooth, so yeah, good ending. Finally, we have the Zero fight. I really like this one. This one is great. I would give it, I think, I would say, I'm going to go A tier. I'm going to be harsh on this, but it is an A tier fight. I liked it a lot. It was very cool to see. Very nice to see Zero finally get his moment, his duel with John Wick that he was kind of waiting for the entire movie. Zero is a great character, and ultimately it was a legend versus a master, and it was very cool to see. A lot of sword work at play, and it was just a good time. And so yeah, I'm going to I'm going to do side style. I'll try to do it for A tier as well. So I'm going to do A tier first. I will say Continental Siege, Eve and Daniel. That's good. That's good. I would say Falling Downstairs. I would say this is better. House Invasion. This is what was better, Continental Siege or House Invasion? Okay, what was better? Okay, this is fine. Ice Skate Attack. I guess, would I put Ice Skate Attack above House Invasion? I would, yeah. Ice Skate Attack was a bit cooler. Library Fight, okay, I would put this, I like the Library Fight more than the Continental Siege, I would say. Pencil Kill or House Invasion? Pencil Kill is better. Pencil Kill or Ice Skate Attack? Pencil Kill is better. Pencil Kill or Eve blows up Frank's place. Pencil Kill is better, but Eve and Daniel is better than Pencil Kill, I would say. What else? Sunset Duel is okay. Sunset Duel is definitely top of the tier, I'd say. 0 Hour. Oh, but 0 Hour. What was better, 0 Hour or Sunset Duel? I think Sunset Duel is ultimately better. What was better though, Falling Downstairs or 0 Hour? I think Falling Downstairs was better, and 0 Hour was probably better than the library scene, I would say. Actually, was it? I don't know. I really liked the library fight. It was a really cool setting. So, but the Zero fight, it was really good though. So, fine. I'm gonna give it a 0 Hour, but it's like really close, really tight there. So yeah. And then finally the S tier fights. Here we got Knife Fight, definitely number 1. I'm keeping it. Kane versus John, definitely. I would say number 2 probably. Fans Fight. Okay, that seems good. God Eye versus God Eye and Fire Breath. Yeah, I think I'm back. John kills Esaf. Killa fights 1 Hour Escape. 1 Hour Escape though, that's a really good action sequence. It wasn't better than the Knife Fight, it wasn't better than Kane versus John, but it was definitely, I'm gonna have to give it, it was better than the Fans Fight, I would say, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put it there. Osaka Fight was, I would say Osaka Fight was better than John kills Esaf. Was it better than I think it was. Was it better than God Eye and Fire Breath? It's really close. I'm going to give it to God Eye and Fire Breath though. And Red Circle Club I will put in, was it better than Kill a Fight? I'm wondering. I would say probably not. Yeah, probably not. I think Kill a Fight had a bit more to it. And so, yeah, this is the final tier list for the John Wick / Ballerina action sequences. And so, yeah, this is probably going to be the last John Wick video I do for a while, probably until I end up reviewing the Continental series, and then I will maybe get some more videos out related to this franchise. But for the meantime, this is going to be the last one that I do, I think. And so, yeah, if you have any recommendations, any movies, shows, anime, video game stories, anything you would like me to review or rank. For rankings, it doesn't have to be media, it can be anything. Leave it in the comments. By the way, I did see that we went from 4 subscribers to 5 subscribers. So yeah, either maybe it's a bot, maybe if you're watching this, you're a real person out there. So I know that two of the subscribers, like here, for some reason this channel started out with like 1 subscriber, so I have no clue what that is. Like it might be a bot or something. And then I think I subscribed on one of my YouTube channels, and then like my personal YouTube channel, and then 2 of my friends subscribed, so that brought it to 4 subscribers. And then so recently we got a 5th subscriber, and I don't know, maybe it's a real person. If it is, shout out to you, whoever's watching this. You're a real one. And if not, if it's a bot, then also real one. And or I guess not a real one, but still appreciate you. And yeah, whoever is out there, if you want to comment something, I will respond. And if you have any recommendation, I would love to hear it. But yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.